I'm a refugee boy. Yeah, being a refugee, it shows that I came a long way of running from war, and I left my country since 2004.
People that was been killed, people that was been raped, and at that time is the way I was just run away from my country.
Vakandiurira kutanga pana baba wangu nemai vangu plus vakoma vangu nevaningina vangu. Ukaningira munomu ndakatiza nemwana wemukoma wangu kasikana. Takasvika muno mune 5 years.
Bakaniambia fungula.
Then they said just open the door.
Sie ni maaskari tunatumia.
We are soldiers, we were in the mission.
Mimi niliwaambia hapana, mke busubuhi. Juu hii ilishakuwa busiku.
You should come tomorrow morning because this is night.
Juu kule kwetu ukifungulia sometime watu busiku wanaweza bakakuua. Na ndo tulikuwa tushaambiliwa mtu akikugonga busiku usifungule.
Because where we used to stay, if you open the door during night, people may kill you. When I told them to come tomorrow in the morning, some of them wanted to break the door. So I was afraid. I went in my house. I told my children to go away. As I was hiding myself to the banana plants, then I saw them getting to my courtyard. They started breaking my door, things in the house. When I saw them, then I also ran and went to my pastor's house. And pastor said, I cannot protect you here. Then he took me to Tanganyika, River Tanganyika. And then from there I got a boat, I went to the other side. He just took me into another boat and said, you just go where others are going. That's how I found myself here in Zimbabwe.
Such is the cruelty of the battlefield, the brutality of civil wars, man-made catastrophes. Their desire to survive has seen them transcend many borders to reach Zimbabwe.
They attacked us, it was in the evening, and we had to run from our home to different countries. Like I passed through Zambia, that was difficult for me to survive. And until then, someone took me and helped me until I reached in Zimbabwe.
Me and my family, again, we were victims of xenophobia, whereby it was a certain day on a Sunday, we're coming back from church when xenophobia outbreak just came from nowhere, and we had no choice but to be the victims. They, let me say, those people were beating up people, killing people. They caught my father, and I was with my father there, but as they were beating my father is a pastor. They saw his card as a pastor. So one of them, when he saw that, no, this is a pastor, he decided to tell his friend that, no, guys, this guy is a mfundisi, so let him go. So by so doing, the police came and took us to GP police station, where we had to stay there for about a week. Then after that place, that's when my father saw that no, the country was no longer safe for us to stay there. That's when we managed to escape. When we escaped, we came into Harare.
Zimbabwe is home to over 15,000 refugees. Majority of these refugees are housed at Tongogara Refugee Camp in Chipinge. They fled decades-long conflicts in the Horn of Africa and the Great Lakes region countries.
And the majority is Congolese, DRC, from DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. So that constitutes the majority of the camp in Tongogara. Then we have, what can I say, the Mozambican, we have Burundian, we have Rwandese, we have even Eastern countries citizen. We have Somalis, we have Ethiopian, we have here now West African citizen from Mali, from Ivory Coast, from Central African Republic. So it's like, small Africa in Tongogara.
As a country, we are now home to in excess of 15,600 refugees and asylum seekers. And of course, majority of our refugees are coming from the Great Lakes region, with the DRC constituting the majority.
Like any other societies, life in a refugee camp is not smooth. It has its own challenges.
You know, as you are young and you are now growing up, like me, I'm not 24 years old. It's reached at some age, like it's 40, 15 years, you really need to be taken care by someone. But as compared to the community which we are living, there are many cases of GBV caused by men here, because we do have men who can have a little bit power, and as they see that you are a vulnerable girl, they take power over you.
We need more employment or more opportunities for youth here in the camp. Child early marriages, unemployment, drug and substance abuse. So all of that is being faced here in the camp. As we all know, in the camp, in the refugee camp, where people live, so many nationalities, so many tribes, and people are already traumatized.
There has been a lot of issues on early childhood marriage. We are rolling out a new curriculum on Girl Shine, which actually identifies positive mentors in the camp who teach girls on issues of sexual reproductive rights, who teach girls on life skills, and it also has an early marriage package to also address some of these issues of early marriage. We have adult literacy classes for those girls who were teenage mothers and have not been going to school or have been illiterate, and they now have a platform where they can actually equip themselves, go to school.
Zimbabwe is signatory to the 1951 United Nations Convention relating to the status of refugees, the 1969 Organization of African Union Convention governing the specific aspects of refugee problems in Africa, and the New York Declaration on Refugees and Migrants. The New York Declaration on Refugees and Migrants gave birth to the Global Compact on Refugees, which is designed to promote responsibility sharing among host countries and communities to better support refugees. The Global Compact on Refugees' objectives are to ease pressures on host countries, to strengthen refugee self-reliance, to make third country solutions more accessible, to support conditions in countries of origin that allow refugees to return safely.
Globally, we are bound by the international instruments, we are bound by the principles of refugee protection, and at the African continent level, we are bound by the responsibility of burden sharing and responsibility sharing. We are bound by our Ubuntu philosophy. So this is in part and parcel of our ability as a country to showcase what we can do to enhance the protection of individuals who are uprooted due to conflicts.
In pursuit and support of the people of concern, and in line with the objectives of the Global Compact on Refugees, the government of Zimbabwe has made the following pledges. To enhance self-reliance for refugees, asylum seekers, and host communities. To promote and increase access to tertiary education for refugees, asylum seekers, and host communities by establishing a vocational training center with an innovation hub and blended learning programs in the Tongogara Refugee Camp. To facilitate inclusion of refugees and asylum seekers in sport and cultural programs. to conduct a regional symposium on the impact of climate change on the protection of refugees, to improve asylum processes, to strengthen the institutional capacity of the National Civil Registry, to review and update the legal and policy frameworks on refugees and asylum seekers.
We are moving towards the implementation of the pledges that were made by the government of Zimbabwe at the 2019 Global Refugee Forum, with a view of building a humanitarian development nexus. The global refugee protection regime is undergoing what I will call financial tremors due to emerging refugee situations out there. So as a country, our ability now to come in with the domestic funds to plug the humanitarian gaps has actually enhanced the protection of refugees.
The pledges assist to create and promote opportunities for the people of concern. Among the opportunities created by the government include early childhood, primary as well as secondary education.
It started as a school which was meant for farmers with the children who were working in Chipinge some time back. Until the time when the Mozambicans came, the school was still operating, and when the Mozambicans returned to their home place in Mozambique, that's when we started having the kids, the learners who were coming from countries like DRC, Rwanda, and Burundi.
At primary school level, pupils are being introduced to information and technology systems.
If we introduce ICT at an earlier age, this means these children will be well versed with the technology. They will be able to fit in the global world, because everything now requires technical skills.
Children who learn within the schools have very limited technology when it comes to learning, so the gadgets help to bridge the technological divide of the schools which are in the rural areas. The gadgets also help with them when they use the resources which are on the platform. They help in terms of understanding and comprehending the English language which comes on the platform, and they help to actually make the pictures come to real life.
The system is not only giving them education, but preparing them for future world challenges, even if they are away from the place that they call home.
They are now getting latest model of education, latest way of doing things. They are now getting geared for the global world, which is now emphasizing on the use of ICT gadgets. Hence, we are now introducing them to the use of ICT gadgets, and they are getting this, which will then help them to be good employers of tomorrow. We are creating careers for them, and they would be able to fit in the global world.
Apart from provision of education in the camp, a number of social activities were also introduced in Tongogara Refugee Camp. Among them is a soccer team.
We are still in Division 2, and last year we were in Division 2 also. But for now we are fighting for going to D1, Division 1, which we are fighting for. And we have many talent. That players come from different countries, which is DRC, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Burundi, and many of us.
Soccer unites. Soccer brings people together. Soccer brings people who have different mindsets together, whereby advantaging those who are disadvantaged in other ways. Let me say, for instance, if you are into drugs and you come here, let me say, in the team or while playing soccer as a team, and you find me, I'm not doing drugs and I'm performing very well, it teaches you a lesson saying that, no, it's not drugs that can make me perform well.
The camp has also introduced a musical band.
This guitar makes me feel that if I start playing, I feel at peace, and joy. It makes me feel comfortable.
And apart from just a refugee and a youth, I'm a very talented youth, and I play bass guitar. But apart from that also I can play all other type of instrument, and also I know how to arrange music.
These social groups do not only assist them to pass time, but to create opportunities and work against some social ills that can happen in any society.
We are straight with the whole that we are coming from. Many lost their parents, many lost their children. Now with this group here, we entertain them to just forget about it and just making them relax.
As part and parcel of the Zimbabwe community, the refugees also participate in community and national programs like cleanup campaigns to green the environment.
As young people here in the camp, we always join the governmental cleanup campaign every first Friday of the week, and we are not only based here in Tongogara Refugee Camp. We are trying also to help, but we don't have that much power to help the government as a young person. But we are trying to go even on the host community and help them to have a knowledge about this climate action. We are planting trees here in the camp to secure food security. It pushes us as young person to be together and have this idea to create this organization so that we will maintain our environment to be safe and clean.
In many circumstances, refugees are seen and considered as liability or passive recipients of aid or donations. This is not it with the Second Republic. The refugees are part and parcel of the country's developmental mantra and greater vision. Previously, refugees were given monthly food handouts and some cash. But now, with the support from the developmental partners, the government of Zimbabwe has introduced a number of livelihood projects, such as piggery, poultry, fish, crop farming, and a green market to sell their products.
The market haisibo because zuwa rinopisha pamusoro. Tivati vakire market yakanaka, tiwe kumba tuchigeza, tichigara pakanaka.
The vendors are going to be occupying a new area which has got shade, which has got also running water, and most of their wares will not go bad easily as it is, and they will also be sold under very hygienic conditions.
The government has also provided a massive irrigation system.
Now we have expansion of 100 more hectares the other side, just nearby the current irrigation scheme. And this will increase the number of refugees that will be, working on these irrigation schemes.
Project iri kutubasira stereke because before I was on that side when I have a small family. By now I've got a big family. I'm F11, so they just shift us to come on this side. They say the people they've got a big family, they must be on this side.
So with the demand for land and also the need to empower the refugees and part of the host community, we have tried to increase the size of the irrigation scheme. And to date we have cleared about 50 hectares of land, and we are now in the process of clearing another 50, so that we have a total of 100 hectares more. And once that is done, we're expecting our production to rise to around 400 tons of each crop.
Of interest to note is advanced hydroponic and insect farming projects in the camp.
We have sunga, lettuce, tomatoes. That's the crops which we are planting now. Then we have 5 green shades, and the member which we have in this project, we are 50 in total, which means 10 in each shade.
Here we are doing insect farming, whereby our objective is to produce live livestock feeds, such as chicken feeds, goats, pigs, something like that. We used to share. Some of our members here have got poultry at their places, so we took those maggots, we share. Some will feed their ducks, some will feed their chickens.
We are piloting this insect farming using black soldier fly, which we hope to produce in quantities. And once we produce a lot of this, we will blend it with a little bit of maize. And this is also a climate smart kind of production because it will cut on our carbon footprint. And once that is done, we will produce feed that will see the livestock value chain of the refugees and other, vulnerable members of the host community afford to buy feed at a lower cost. As you can see, this is not the actual feed. This is the base, that is the maggots. It's basically between 60 to 70% protein. So, currently in the conventional feeds, we use soybean, which is about 30 to 40% protein. But for you to produce 2 tons of soybean, you need maybe 1 hectare or something like that.
The Livelihood projects assist them to supplement their family incomes and reduce burden of food handouts from government and strained donor community.
We even sell to our community, and it's really assist the whole community of Tongogara, because we are producing more tomatoes, which we cannot just consume it at the household, and the money which we are getting, it's also assist us even to buy clothes, other things to add for our kids at school.
Last year I had 600 kg of beans. So this year I hope it will be so. So actually I sold a half of my harvest. Then I managed to send my son to Chipinge University.
Although the thousands of refugees hosted at Tongogara Refugee Camp are away from the place that they call home, Zimbabwe has given them a new haven.
Just thank the government of Zimbabwe giving me this safe place where I don't hear anything related to war or gunshot, because the environment where I came from, it was related on those things.
Government is showing through the pledges, you are here. We welcome you, we stand there with you, as long as UNHCR, as well as UNHCR, the other partner, to support you until the situation back home is changed, until maybe you get a durable solution, like for example going back home or going for a resettlement,
We have created home away from home for refugees. We have created opportunities from health, education, shelter, agriculture, among other cross-cutting activities in the camp. We have created such opportunities to show that we advance an inclusive agenda, and to show that as a country we are ready to play our part as a member of the progressive community of nations.